humans, and welcome back to Humanities. So finally I am here with the Humongous History series, and this series presents to you class 12th history chapter 1, bricks, beads and bones, MCQ based question bank for your term 1 examinations. Now finally the wait is over and we are beginning with this series. हम आपके लिए ला रहे हैं चैप्टर वाइज कवरेज ऑफ MCQ बेस्ड क्वेश्चन बैंक्स एंड टुडे वी विल बी कवरिंग चैप्टर नंबर 1 bricks, beads and bones of your class 12th history. So let's move forward and देखते हैं कि हमें क्या और कैसे करना है. So how to benefit from this series? हमें कैसे फायदा होगा इस सीरीज से? Firstly, if you have read this chapter already, make sure you pause the video when the questions appear and try to answer these questions on your own. That would be the best way to test yourself and actually see कि आपको कहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम हो रही है, कहाँ पे आपके कॉन्सेप्ट्स क्लियर नहीं है. Secondly, if you haven't read the chapter yet, these questions will provide you with an overall coverage of all important topics and key terms that the chapter contains. Questions are curated page wise. मैंने हर एक पेज के questions बनाए हैं. Each page of your NCRT has been put into a set of questions. Answers have been provided after the questions of each page. Basically पहले questions की list होगी and उनके बाद आएंगे answers. This is a wholesome approach towards covering MCQ based term 1 examination. बहुत ज़्यादा wholesome approach है. पूरे सारे के सारे कॉन्सेप्ट, सारी की सारी चीज़ों को मद्देनजर रखते हुए ये अप्रोच क्यूरेट की गई है स्पेशली फॉर यू गाइज. सो ऑल द बेस्ट, मेक द बेस्ट यूज आउट ऑफ दिस सीरीज. आई विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट एंड अ वेरी 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 गुड लक. Enjoy this series. This is especially for your convenience and for your benefit. So let's start with NCRT page number 1. Here are your questions. Question number 1. What is the most distinctive artifact of the Harappan or Indus Valley civilization? Question number 2. The Harappan seals are made up of which type of stone? Question number 3. The Harappan script remains undeciphered. Yet, how do we know a great deal about the lives of the people who lived in the region? Question number 4. The Indus Valley civilization is also known as? Question number 5. Which was the first site to be discovered in the Indus Valley civilization? And question number 6. The Harappan civilization dated between? Now let's come on to the answers, and here are your answers. You can write these below the questions in your notebooks or even you can take a screenshot. Perfect. Now let's move on to the next page. NCRT page number 2 to 4. Question number 1. How have archaeologists been able to reconstruct dietary practices of Harappans? Question number 2. What are the scholars who are specialists in ancient plant remains known as? Question number 3. How do we know that the bull was used for agricultural practices in Harappa? Question number 4. Which animal was used for ploughing? Question number 5. Terracotta models of the plough have been found at which sites? Question number 6. Evidence of ploughed field have been found at which site? Question number 7. Traces of canals have been found at which Harappan site? Question number 8. Water reservoirs have been found at which site? And here comes our answers for this set of questions. Here are your curated answers, especially MCQ based answers. You can take a screenshot or write them down in your notebook. Let's move on to the next page. NCRT page 5 to 7. Question number 1. What was the most unique feature of the Harappan civilization? Question number 2. Mohenjo-daro was divided into how many sections and what were they called? Question number 3. One of the most distinctive and carefully planned feature of Harappan cities was known as? Question number 4. Which place at Mohenjo-daro provides examples of residential buildings? Question number 5. It is certainly the most complete ancient system as yet discovered. What was Mackay talking about? Question number 6. Scholars have estimated that the total number of wells in Mohenjo-daro was about. Here are your answers for this set of questions. I hope you're enjoying it and writing it down in your notebooks, textbooks, or taking a screenshot. Let's move on to the next page number. Page number 8 of your NCRT. Question number 1. Where can we find evidence of structures that were probably used for special public purposes? Question number 2. The citadel included how many public structures and what were they known as? Question number 3. About what have scholars suggested that it was meant for a special ritual bath? Here are the answers for this series of questions. NCRT page number 9 to 10. Question number 1. What all did archaeologists use to find out whether there were social or economic differences among people living within a particular culture? Question number 2. A material made of ground sand or silica mixed with color and a gum and then fired came to be known as? Question number 3. Miniature pots of faience, perhaps used as perfume bottles, are found mostly in which places of the Indus Valley civilization? Question number 4. All the gold jewelry, although rare, was found and recovered from hoards from which site? Question number 5. Name a tiny settlement almost exclusively devoted to craft production, including bead making, shell cutting, metal working, seal making, and weight making. Here are your answers. I hope you all are answering correctly and are having fun reading the questions and testing your knowledge. NCRT page number 11. Question number 1. Techniques for making beads differed according to the material. A very soft stone was easily worked. What was it called? Question number 2. Specialized drills have been found at which sites? Question number 3. Which sites were specialized centers for making shell objects including bangles, ladles, and inlay? Question number 4. In order to identify centers of craft production, archaeologists usually look for? Here are your answers for this set of questions. NCRT page number 12. Question number 1. Terracotta toy models of what suggest that this was one of the most important means of transporting goods and people across land routes. Question number 2. Riverine routes along which river was used for trade? Question number 3. What was a blue stone that was found at Afghanistan and was apparently very highly valued, known as? Question number 4. Which was the nearest site to the best source of lapis lazuli? Question number 5. A strategy for procuring raw materials may have been to send expeditions to areas to extract gold and copper. Name these areas. Question number 6. There is evidence in which region the Ganeshwar Jodhpura culture with its distinctive non-Harappan pottery and an unusual wealth of copper objects. Here is the set of answers for these questions. Make sure that you are writing down the answer key and attempting your questions carefully. Even if you are making mistakes or you don't know the answers, this is your point to write the answers down and memorize them carefully. NCRT page number 13. Question number 1. Copper was brought from a place on the southeastern tip of the Arabian Peninsula. Which place was it? Question number 2. Chemical analysis have shown that both the Omani copper and Harappan artifacts have traces of which metal? Question number 3. A distinctive type of vessel, a large Harappan jar coated with a thick layer of black clay, has been found at Omani sites. What are such thick coatings used for? Question number 4. Mesopotamian texts datable to the 3rd millennium BCE refer to copper coming from a region called. Here are your answers for this set of questions. NCRT page number 14. Question 1. Mesopotamian texts mention contact with the Harappan region using a different name known as. Question number 2. A Mesopotamian myth says of Meluha, may your bird be the dash. Fill in the blanks. Question number 3. What was the medium of communication between Oman, Bahrain or Mesopotamia? Question number 4. Mesopotamian texts refer to Meluha as. Here are your set of answers for these questions. NCRT page number 15. Question 1. What were used to facilitate long distance communication at the time of Indus Valley civilization? Question number 2. Most Harappan inscriptions are short, the longest containing how many signs? Question number 3. The Harappan script was written from which direction? Question number 4. Exchanges were regulated by a precise system of weights, usually made of a stone called. Here are the answers for this set of questions. NCRT page number 16 to 17. Question number 1. What prove the indications of complex decisions being taken and implemented in Harappan society? Question number 2. A large building found at which place was labeled as a palace by archaeologists? Question number 3. A stone statue was labeled and continues to be known as the. Question number 4. By when was most of the mature Harappan sites in regions such as Cholistan had been abandoned? Question number 5. After 1900 BCE, there appears to have been a transformation of material culture. What brought about these changes? Question number 6. How did we get to know that the Harappan state came to an end? Make sure that you answer these questions correctly. इसमें हमारे थोड़े lengthy answers आ जाते हैं so that you don't miss on the important summarizing points of this chapter. So make sure that you are learning them well. NCRT page number 19 to 20. Most important page for MCQ based questions. Make sure that you read and learn these question answers by heart. These are the most important question answers for this chapter. Question number 1. Who was the first Director General of the ASI? Question number 2. Cunningham used whose accounts to locate early settlements? Question number 3. According to Cunningham, Indian history began with the first cities in. Question number 4. Seals were discovered at Harappa by which archaeologist in the early decades of the 20th century? Question number 5. Which archaeologist found similar seals at Mohenjo-daro? Question number 6. Who was the Director General of the ASI in 1924? Question number 7. Who announced the discovery of a new civilization in the Indus Valley to the world? Question number 8. Who noted in the story of Indian archaeology, Marshall left India 3000 years older than he had found her? Question number 9. As Director General of the ASI, who marked a major change in the Indian archaeology? Question number 10. Who was the first professional archaeologist to work in India? These 10 questions, I would say again, are the most important questions of this chapter for MCQ purposes. So make sure that you are taking a screenshot or writing them down in your notebooks. Here are the answers for these questions. Moving on to NCRT page number 21 to 22. Question number 1. Who rectified the problem in John Marshall's excavations? Question number 2. Who took over as the Director General of ASI in 1944? Question number 3. Do the frontiers of the Harappan civilization have any connection with present day national boundaries? Question number 4. In how many ways can artifacts be classified? Here are your answers for this set of questions. Make sure that you're writing them down properly and learning them well. NCRT page number 23, which is the last page of our chapter. Question number 1. Terracotta figurines of women, heavily jeweled, some with elaborate headdresses, were regarded as? Question number 2. Rare stone statuary of men in an almost standardized posture, seated with one hand on the knee, were similar to that of? Question number 3. Which structures have been assigned ritual significance? Question number 4. A figure shown seated cross-legged in a yogic posture, sometimes surrounded by animals, has been regarded as a depiction of whom? Question number 5. Which religious text mentions a god named Rudra, which is a name used for Shiva in later Puranic traditions? Question number 6. The one-horned animal, often called dash, depicted on seals, seem to be mythical composite creatures. Fill in the blank. Here are your answers for these questions, and make sure again that you have written each and every question in your notebook which you did not know and jotted down the answer key as well. So guys, that was it for today's video. That was it for today's lecture on chapter number 1, bricks, beads and bones. I'm pretty sure it has helped you a lot. अगर आपने ये सारे question attempt कर लिए हैं तो I would say you are 100% done with this chapter and you can nail each and every possible MCQ. So make sure to like, share and subscribe for more. You are at Humanities, and happy learning everyone. I'll see you in the next video.